And I'm doing the intro.
Do it.
Yep.
Keanussance number 1.
Oh, I got to think of a funny intro. I didn't think I was gonna do this intro today. So
I'm sure whatever you do, it will be like most excellent.
No, you should do the total opposite because people are expecting that. You should be very buttoned down and like formal.
No, that's dumb.
Yeah,
You should be really stilted and awkward, like let's just call him Louis C.K. George Carlin.
There you go.
Louis C.K. George Carlin is spinning in his grave currently.
Yeah.
Welcome, dudes, to this episode of A Star to Steer Her By.
Bogus.
Bogus. Excellent.
Wait, bogus is bad though, isn't it?
They still
Bogus would
said
be
it at
good.
some point.
Yeah. But
Whatever, man. Just remember to be excellent to each other because this week we're taking a break from Star Trek to cover our favorite, most excellent dudes, Bill and Ted, having an excellent adventure. And we're doing the guitar.
Insert guitar riff here.
So, as suggested in that bogus, totally tubular intro, we are covering Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This is a movie from the radical age of the 1980s, featuring Keanu Reeves and the other guy. No one knows his name.
Alex
I
Winter.
do. It's Alex Winter.
There you go. Radical.
But who are we?
And we're the fucking hosts of Star to Steer Her By. My name is Jake, and I'm joined by
Chris, the middle-aged man.
The bodacious babe Ames.
and this is Caitlin.
Radical. All right, well, to complete the intro and the summary, I'm just going to hand it over to the totally gnarly square Jake, who will explain what this movie is. Thank you, Radical Jake, for that totally bodacious intro.
Is Radical Jake like Action Saru?
Yes, he is. Yeah, so what happens in this film? Well, we find out we're in the distant future, not quite as distant as Discovery Season 3, but in like, what is it, 2600s or something?
I believe, yeah, it's 26-something. 2688.
And we find out that the future is under threat because these two righteous dudes from the 1980s are in a pickle, and the council of whoever decides to send George Carlin back to 1989 to help them out of their jam. So we go, and to do that, we use like basically a TARDIS, but it's a phone booth this time. So he does that. But meanwhile, in the 80s, we meet our heroes, Bill and Ted, and they're trying to start a band. They're pretty terrible, but they will hit it big if they can just get Eddie Van Halen on guitar.
He's not busy or anything.
No, he'd totally join them. So it turns out that the pickle that they're in is they're failing history class. And if Ted fails, his dad's going to send him to military school, and then the band will never form, and that's going to totally fuck the future. So
They are a linchpin event. It's kind of great.
Yeah.
Right. So George Carlin, whose name in the film is Rufus, is like, oh, well, I'll help them out by giving them this time machine and sending them to different time periods to meet all of the people that they can put into their history report, and then they'll pass. And then the movie is pretty much just them going into time and kidnapping various historical figures, bringing them to the 80s to hilarious effect. They all go to the mall and all get into hijinks. And we managed to rescue them from jail through some really cleverly seeded time fuckery in the film.
Yeah, other shows take note because, they seeded that Dad couldn't find his keys in one of the first scenes, and it pays off.
Yeah, it pays off really well. But we rescue our historical figures, who include Beethoven or Beethoven. We got Joan of Arc, Genghis Khan, Billy the Kid, Sigmund Freud, Napoleon. Am I missing anybody?
I forget if you've said Abe yet.
Oh, and Abe Lincoln, of course. Honest Abe.
The one they couldn't come up with a fake name for.
Yeah, so then we make it to the school assembly where we're presenting our history reports in just the nick of time, and
just how we all delivered history reports.
Yeah,
an all-day event for the entire school.
And we
I loved that they were scheduled for a 15-minute thing or whatever, and then it was just this major production.
Yeah, it's major production, incredibly awesome. There's lighting, and
I'm sure it was one of them from the future running the booths
and sets. It's very good, and we ace the report. We get an A, and the future is saved. And to thank them, Rufus gives them some really cool 80s guitars and brings them some babes from medieval times that they met,
who immediately die because their medieval immune systems were not prepared for the modern world.
Yeah,
I'm sure Rufus got that taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. That's what happened. What do y'all think?
So I love that, time travel fiction often struggles with the idea of the grandfather paradox. And Bill and Ted's response is, not only does it not matter, it is actually the most important thing in the universe that keeps everything working. I
love also that, you never worry about, whatever their equivalent of Prime Directive is. I can only assume that all the characters that go back in time just have their memories wiped or something, because...
Or it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're not meant to think about it. All these people who see a phone booth appear, and Bill and Ted running around in present day clothes and speaking in non-Latin or what have you. You're not meant to worry about it. That is not the story they're telling, so they don't bother.
No.
Except with the keys. The keys are the one thing that you're like, oh yeah, that's how time would work. But nothing else, because it's for a very simple audience.
Well, I think I forgot to mention Socrates was also.
Oh yes, Socrates, everyone's favorite.
What's funny too is I realized that that opening bit between the two of them arguing over we need Eddie Van Halen to do a Righteous video, but we can't get Eddie Van Halen without the video. And it's again, that's even from their first discussion, they're talking about the grandfather paradox. It's wild.
For a very dumb movie, it's a very smart movie.
Yeah, there's a single smart thread upon which they hung a bunch of ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Which I think is why it's so entertaining.
Yeah, it works really well.
Normally I would hate fun like this, but I think two things. A, I've watched this I've been watching this movie since I was a child, so it's already ingrained in just being excellent. And two, it's just a movie built entirely on heart.
Yeah.
This is a movie that at its center are these two very stupid but very likable characters who mean so well.
Yeah. And you can understand why a society built on them is apparently utopic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What's funny is the one thing that I've never thought of when I was younger, but thought of now, they're only failing history?
Right.
Wait a minute.
Well, it's the only class they're taking.
I blame the teacher.
They're really amazing at calculus.
If the teacher is any good, because we're at the end of the term, and if he's only noticed now that there's a problem, it might be his fault.
Yeah, it sounds like he's not very good at math.
He's apparently too busy.
He's whoa, dudes, turns out you got zeros on every single project, bro.
But yeah, no, he's apparently too busy stooping students.
No, she graduated 3 years ago.
I think her dialogue implied before she graduated they might have been buddies.
Long time no see. That's all it takes.
Well, also earlier on, when Bill says who he's taking history, he says, they were flunking history. So with Mr. whatever his name is, he goes, tell him I said hi.
Well, listen.
She's fucking Bill's dad. It's implicit that she fucked the teacher.
Okay, but one is a crime that makes that man a pedophile, and disgusting, and one is just kind of unseemly.
I mean, here's the thing.
She could have been 18.
1989,
Yeah, I was
where
gonna say,
people weren't making that explicit.
That sort of joke was acceptable and hilarious back then.
I did find the whole idea of the Missy, is that her character?
Missy, yes.
Missy, yeah, Missy. I found the whole Missy thing a little distracting and out of place in the film. Like it didn't really matter that there was that Bill had a hot stepmom.
It basically exists just for the Oedipus complex joke at the end.
Which was a good one.
Mm.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's the whole reason for it.
Yeah.
Which, honestly...
Having her like, have something with the teacher does add a certain uncomfortable element. Like, you could have just had her be a hot mom.
Yeah, that would have been enough.
Stepmom.
Like, just fucking the dad, like, fine. But yeah, having clearly, if not outright fucked, definitely, like, made passes at and seduced the teacher. That's a little... It's one of the things that didn't age. Like, most of this film aged well enough. There's one obvious joke that also didn't age great.
Which one?
When they hug and then drop an F-bomb.
Oh, I didn't even... How did I miss that?
I don't know. I remember the people being upset when that would get bleeped later when the film was reshown on TV in, like, the 90s. They also replaced all of the shit subtitles with darn when it was on.
Oh, well, that's dumb.
Comedy Central.
We didn't have subtitles. Did they subtitle Napoleon?
Yeah, when he flips just when he fucks up the bowling and says mad. Like it's
that's the only one that they captioned.
Only one.
They translate.
And like I said, back in the day when it was on Comedy Central, they replaced shit with darn, but he's still shouting mad. So
funny. Yeah, I found like the obviously it was all for comedy, but of the historical portrayals, the Genghis Khan was a little I don't know. Kind of depicting him as like this
a little
caveman character with like a big club was a choice.
That's true.
What did he have?
I don't know. He would have had like a
spear?
Sword or something. Spear, sword.
Yeah, possibly that thing he did the demonstration with during the report.
What is that, a scimitar or something?
I mean,
I don't know the name for it, but that's maybe a little closer to an historically accurate one.
Yeah, but yeah, him freaking out in the sporting goods store was a funny scene, but the fact that he was, using like a club, which I know, like the club makes sense when he had to get a baseball bat, and like upgrade his club. But yeah, actually, I think the like Genghis Khan would have been an archer, right? Because like I
know nothing about the Mongols.
The Mongols would have been big archers.
Right, because they were mostly horseback, weren't they?
Yeah, because he would have had like a really ancient bow. But if he found like a fancy compound bow in the sporting goods store, they could have still done the same types of jokes, just with him finding a really nice bow.
Yeah, I mean, the Mongols took over a huge swath of Southeast Asia back in the day and ran it fairly effectively until his passing. Like, the man wasn't an idiot.
No, he was probably one of the biggest conquerors, if not the biggest of all time.
Yeah. I unfortunately, like, everything I know comes from, I want to say, 7th grade ancient history. So I'm a little vague. I think things sort of fell apart after his death because, like, the kingdom was divided between his sons, and then they fell into infighting, I think, or something. I'm possibly completely wrong.
It sounds like a thing that happens, a succession crisis.
But yeah, unfortunately, just like, for whatever reason, Genghis Khan has just been depicted as this, like, raving fucking barbarian for so long in pop culture, and that still hadn't,
What was he like in The Savage Curtain? Because I know we saw him then. I think he was doing, like, military strategy with the other forces of evil.
That's the tricky part. He was a force of evil still.
Was he the one that could do voices
he's
really well?
He's probably not a great guy. Like, he probably is. Like, we would probably consider him pretty evil if he existed today.
True.
Not an idiot. Not like a raving barbarian.
Right. You were saying names?
Was he the one in The Savage Curtain who could mimic voices perfectly?
Oh, until you mentioned that, I forgot someone did that, so I have no clue who it was.
Or was that Green? That might have been Green.
That might have been Green. I don't remember. I mean, those were also just like, manifestations. It wasn't literally Genghis Khan.
What?
I
It is
know.
funny that we have both Lincoln and Genghis Khan in that and this. That didn't occur to me till right now.
I wonder who the most portrayed historical figures are in movies of this variety, or
Lincoln's gotta
any
be
type
up
of.
there.
Well, Lincoln. I mean, because I'm just thinking because we got Lincoln in Star Trek that time. Not that it was exactly like this. But
That's right. We were just saying there was the fake Lincoln and the fake Khan.
yeah.
But yeah, Lincoln. I know Genghis Khan famously was portrayed in a biopic once by, I wish I was kidding, John Wayne.
Oh, no.
Boy.
Yeah.
Isn't he in Clone High somewhere too?
Genghis Khan and Abe Lincoln are both in Clone High.
Yeah. Is Genghis Khan the one that flips the pool?
I believe he must be. Yeah.
Nice.
He's also the one. He's just kind of it's unfortunate. He's just kind of big and stupid.
So again,
They send him
continuing
into
this.
They send him into buy beer because he's huge and he just cries because he can't lie about it.
Oh. Gonna say they don't card him, but apparently they do.
Yeah, the kind of fascinating origins of this movie is I guess it was Chris Matheson's and Ed Solomon's comedy stand-up routine in that they were doing in college, and they played Bill and Ted.
Huh.
And they would just come up with these wacky scenarios until I think it was Matheson's dad, who's famous in some way, I forget, who said this could be a whole movie. This time travel historical figure concept you're playing with could just be its own movie. So they did it. And it's clearly on such a shoestring budget, which is hilarious. I think that the number I have is 10 million and it grossed 40 million. So good on them.
Wow.
But you get that opening scene with Rufus just in a black void. It's there's no money for putting him in any space.
Yeah, I feel like most of the money probably went on the pre-phone booth crystal.
Yeah.
I will say, I think the only time the budget really showed, though, to their credit, is the fact that they were just clearly in a museum's medieval England section at one point. I get that they would have stored their armor somewhere, but not like that. That was the one moment where I was like, okay.
Yeah, well, there's that, and then also just it had that sense of the TOS era. We're just gonna film on the old West set that we already have, or we're gonna it didn't look like any of the places that they filmed.
When they went to the mall, they couldn't even afford to shut down the mall, so any people in the background and the distant background are actually people at the mall.
That's amazing.
Love that though.
But yeah, honestly, it never really again, aside from that one bit, I never felt God, this was a cheap film. It didn't feel like
all 80s films felt like this.
Yeah.
Of this kind, I mean, of the kind of teen comedy, they all felt this way. Maybe they all were done on a shoestring budget, actually, come to think of it, but...
I want to see more of those these days. How would people, creatively get around these kinds of things these days?
Limitations can spur creativity.
And, yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, now the answer is always fix it in post, throw money at the problem until it looks good.
And it doesn't even end up looking good half the time. People repeatedly point out, how shitty CG has started to look because they're rushing it.
I read that the intention had been for Rufus to be played by Eddie Van Halen, which would be very funny.
That would have been sick.
Very obviously, they could not afford him.
It is funny. I was thinking, the parallels between this and Back to the Future. You open with them fucking up a speaker. Admittedly, not as big as the one Marty dealt with.
Yeah.
And apparently their practices are right before school.
Yeah.
What high school student has time before school to do anything?
I mean, I do kind of feel like that whole scene is like a wink at Back to the Future, because that's exactly how Back to the Future started.
Yeah.
Was Marty playing in Doc's garage with, the amp, and then he's late for school.
Yeah. And they've got the big ass camcorder, which features later in the film, but the original.
Yeah, a lot of this movie feels to me at some points this is Back to the Future if Marty had a friend.
And was a bit of a dope.
Yeah, and was more dopey.
Yeah.
I was going to say more of a dope. Let's not...
Yeah, Marty's not stupid, but he's not he's average. Marty is just very average.
Except when it comes to ripping it up on that guitar.
True, he is a better guitar player than them.
Yeah, which makes for the good joke, too, though.
Yes. But later, the tape he plays to fuck with George is an Eddie Van Halen tape.
Yeah.
where they had to specifically write Eddie Van Halen because they couldn't get the rights to write.
It wasn't Edward Van Halen.
Yes,
yeah,
that's right. It was. And yeah, like you said, Jake, I don't know if the creators were aware of Doctor Who. I feel like
they were not. They have stated up and down because originally it was going to be a van that they drove around through time.
Makes sense.
And like piled everyone in the van. But then because of Back to the Future, they're like, no, this is too DeLorean-esque. Let's change it to something else that would be familiar. And they chose phone booth. I forget why. Because they just had no cultural awareness of Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's thing. It was like, it had been on TV on PBS in the States, but it, until the reboot in 2005, it was very much a niche thing here. So it's funny that they unintentionally kind of like made this joke because it's like, oh, it's a phone booth, but it is the size of a phone booth on the inside.
It might be smaller on the inside.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, dude. They fit all of those people in there.
Yeah, they fit like 10 people in there. And I did notice, like, especially when they go to the future accidentally, they, like, the size of the phone booth changes dramatically. Like, the external size, like, depending on which angle. So I think they must have had several different phone booth props that they used throughout the filming.
It's funny, too. The antenna is so clearly just a stripped umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they do go to the future, and the effects in the future are jank as hell. But I find it actually fitting because this is a future based on these two dudes being cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just entirely fits that this is their utopian future. It is this silly looking.
Yeah, it's just kind of chill.
And I kind of want Rufus's glasses. You guys want to know some of the bits that got dropped before we get further into
goodness, yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do it.
All right. The first thing I read that I'm glad they did not, because Jesus actual Christ, was that the first character they would pick up that they swapped Napoleon in for wisely, because I feel like those jokes land better, would have been Hitler. And that's not the statement that you want to make.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this was back when they were doing the van thing, and the title would have been Bill and Ted's Time Van, which is just funny.
What a terrible title.
And another handful of dropped plots include they somehow caused Julius Caesar's death. They caused the Titanic to sink.
They definitely couldn't afford to do that.
They caused the Hindenburg to crash.
Guys.
Oh, no.
And they end up inventing fire when they want to light a joint with a caveman.
See, they should have left that in because
Yeah.
The fact that these two are stoners and we literally never hear anything about marijuana is ridiculous.
Are they stoners? Are there any other references to them smoking?
Obviously, they're stoners.
Yeah, but are they just stupid, or is there proof that they've been smoking?
Yeah, I think they. I think it's a heavily winked that they're probably stoners, but I think that they probably were conscious that they didn't want to alienate, like, because this is a very popular movie with kids, I would say, and they probably didn't want to alienate that entire audience.
Well, they were, at the very least, they were probably trying to stick to a PG rating.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I mean. Like, if it went up to PG-13, they probably would have had less success.
It's interesting. I guess didn't occur to me that they might be stoners, because there's also just, that was, the 80s was like the height of the like valley kid stereotype. And that,
yeah,
to
that's
me,
what
was
I
always
assumed this whole time.
Yeah.
Like when I saw that as a drop plot point, I was like, oh yeah, I don't think it needed that.
No. I mean,
I don't think it needed it.
Yeah, they never felt like they were coded as stoners to me. I feel like that would be like a Jay and Silent Bob travel through time plot.
Couple more historic figures for you. They cut meeting Charlemagne, whom they would have referred to as Charlie Mangay, Babe Ruth, and still in the credits, apparently, though I didn't catch it because I forgot to watch the credits, is that they would have just brought home just a random guy from medieval times that they would name John the Serf.
I wonder if that's the guy that they met when they got off when they got out of the
who pointed at the castle?
Yeah, who pointed at the castle. I wonder if that's John the Serf.
Later the one on the phone booth when it's brought to the execution thing, screaming about how they fell from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like their initial thing was like, so who are we going to bring with us from the Middle Ages? Or that gnarly goat dude.
I wish to see the gnarly goat dude. We didn't even get to see who that was.
Guys, they only had $10 million.
You have $10 million 80s dollars.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's funny. It's like a shoestring budget, and it's like, what is that, like $50 million?
I wonder, because there is a ton of music. I wonder how much of it like was went into music too.
Yeah, licensing.
Yeah, because the whole sequence in the mall that's beautifully choreographed against Beethoven playing multiple keyboards.
Oh, I loved that.
Yeah.
That's
that
like my
great.
favorite
That was so
sequence.
fucking 80s.
Yeah,
The editing on that is perfection.
Let's see, because I'm sure even adjusted for inflation, it's actually not a ton. So let's call this 87, even though the movie's out in 88, just to be safe. To calculate.
Yeah, they filmed it in 87, and then whatever company they were with went under.
Oops. I mean, crappy. I mean, it's so funny watching even now. Like, I feel like Orion hasn't been around for years either. Like, they're gone now. Yeah, even adjusted for inflation, it's a $29 million film, which is like, in today's terms, nothing to make a movie on. But wait, how much was Everything Everywhere All at Once? I know that was also surprisingly cheap.
Oh, I could find out for you quickly.
Was that 25? Was it cheaper than Bill and Ted adjusted for inflation?
Budget was between 14 and 25 million.
So yeah,
probably about the same budget as Bill and Ted.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
Actually, it's funny. I wish I'd thought to bookmark it, but a couple months ago, I saw somebody uploaded audition tapes for this film.
Oh my god.
And, you know, sometimes you'll see old audition tapes and you'll be like, huh, I mean, you know, I know who I'm used to and this was good, but I was like, it'd be interesting to see they were the only good choice.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, in each case, it was like, you know, it was like two random guys. And then one was like Alex Winter with somebody else. And Alex Winter was spot on. And the other guy was like, eh. And then it was like Keanu Reeves and somebody else. And you were like, no, I can see why we ended up with these two. Because when they were on their own, they were both already perfect. And then you put them together and it's like, yep, here it is.
Yeah, and they have such good chemistry together. Like, I can tell the two actors actually like each other.
Yeah.
And they built a lot of their rapport together, which is quite lovely.
Yeah, they worked real natural off one another. They apparently recently did a brief run of Waiting for Godot together.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I hate that play, but I like them. So,
Yeah. I forget if it was New York or London, but yeah.
I find it funny because I don't know if I would have noticed this, but I think it was some review video. It might have been Mr. Sunday Movies when I was watching them chat about the movie. Is when Bill and Ted are on screen together, it is practically always Alex Winter on the right, on the left, Keanu Reeves on the right, so that it can be Bill and Ted.
Oh, I love that.
Huh.
Almost always.
That's funny.
Like, even when
detail.
there's the two versions of each other speaking from that overlap period, which pays off beautifully. Like, it's so good. They're still
that
both
conversation
that way.
made a lot more sense this time.
They're so cute. What a great little touch, because
it is that it is really because it's also kind of like a wink and a nod to people who like probably aren't like big genre like fans, because this doesn't like, you know, I mean, it's obviously like sort of science fiction-y because it's time travel, but it's also just like a goofy teenage movie. So like, unless these kids are big fucking nerds, which I'm sure some of them are, but like the majority of them probably aren't like hardcore into genre. So it was sort of nice to have it be like, and here is why this works, children. Guys, there's not much to say about this movie. It's just great.
it's just super fun.
It's very entertaining.
I think
it's funny. It's smart. The cast is good. The acting is good. I loved Napoleon's adventures in.
Oh God, I was just gonna say the whole
San Dimas.
The whole sequence at the water park was just phenomenal.
Yeah, where's he gonna go? He's gonna go to Waterloo. That's beautiful.
Which makes
the
it
fact
better.
that they're right is so great.
Well, and it's funny because, like, you know, because it's them and they don't know history, they didn't think this because Napoleon and Waterloo. It's just where they would go because they love water slides.
Yeah,
Slides,
did they even make the connection that water, was it called Water Loop?
It might have been,
I think
actually.
it was Water Loop, but that, it's obviously a play on Waterloo.
Yeah.
That they probably don't even get.
No, they wound up there because it's just where they would go. They didn't, which is like a very subtle joke, too. Like, the joke about the name being similar to Waterloo is not subtle, but the fact that you realize, like, they're not making the connection we as the audience are.
Yeah, and that's a good way to do it, because then that's kind of like a dramatic irony thing that the audience gets the joke, the characters don't need to get the joke.
Nope, not at all.
I kind of wish the scene with the doing chores had a little bit more impact. It felt like very fillery, but I did love the fact that Freud bringing a vacuum cleaner nozzle to his mouth and the kind of very phallic look of that. Freud was constantly touching phallic things, which was very telling. And I think they knew that joke.
Okay, holy shit, I didn't even notice that. That's good.
Me either.
Yeah, because you first see him, he's got his cigar. You see him at the mall, and he's got a corn dog.
Oh my god, he does. How did I never pick up on that?
You see him at where was that? Oh, at the house doing the chores, and he's vacuuming, and then puts it to his mouth, and the vacuum starts sucking his beard.
Yep.
Is it tickling his whiskers?
Apparently. Also, one thing I'd never...
Whiskers? What gross thing is it that Neelix wants?
I think tugging his whiskers, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, and one thing I'd not noticed before this rewatch was, like, Billy the Kid clearly hitting on Joan of Arc during that sequence.
The chore sequence?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember. What did he do?
He just kind of makes eyes at her a couple of times during the montage, and at the end she is wearing his hat.
Whoa.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah. Hey, he's a delight, because like they even say, like, he just rolls with it. I mean, they all do, but he rolls with it, like, the most.
Yeah, it's like that DS9 episode with the holograms. Well, I guess we'll just have to get used to being, spending life as holograms.
Yeah.
And they do.
Like, he is all about time travel. Fun fact, that's actually one of the dudes from Tron. Not Tron or, obviously, Flynn, but the third one, the one that eventually gets derezzed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And him with the little foam football that he eventually starts. I like that him and Socrates, even though they do not understand each other, just end up being buddies for the whole picture, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Everyone is willing to go with it, which I think also adds to the charm. Like, if there were actual conflict, it would be an entirely different movie. But it's just such an uplifting and, like, be excellent to each other. Like, that's the whole aim of the movie is even these historic figures get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the one thing that doesn't land for me as much are the two princesses, because they're just very non-characters. I feel like because this movie got edited down from however long it probably was to an hour and a half, probably lost some stuff. But I don't know if there was anything else to go on for the princesses.
They weren't on your list of things that got cut, so I'm guessing that was always the extent. Sexy lamps.
Yeah, and they do feel a little bit like sort of just a present at the end, and they know which guy they're supposed to go to. Although that also potentially ties in. Well, I mean, again, I'm not to forgive it, because mostly what it was, but it's so weird because, again, because of the whole grandfather paradox thing and the fact that it's not a paradox in this universe, it actually makes their whole history so complicated. Like, Rufus just knows who they're supposed to end up with, so he's like, you go to that one, you go to that one, and it's like, wait, so your society happened because they formed the band, but they could only form the band because, like, there is a reality in theory where they don't pass history, but that literally can't exist. Like,
yeah, that's the Biff is president timeline.
Yeah, it's like it's like Rufus. One thing we always talk about, or we talked about briefly with Enterprise, was like, here's this prick Daniels. It's like, who's to say the history you're trying to save is the quote-unquote right one, or is it the one you want? And in a way, that's kind of what this is, really, but it's also like, because it's a utopian future, we're like, this is fine. Hopefully Rufus killed Daniels during the fucking Time Wars.
Definitely, yeah. Yes. This is where the universes converge. Mm-hmm. All hail Rufus.
Rufus is actually
And he and Duquesne
Shadow
form
Guy.
a band.
Rufus is Shadow Guy.
That's better. I'll take that.
He's trying to stop Archer and Daniels.
He's here to kill Daniels.
Yep. There we go.
Like teaming up with Silic.
Yep. I bet Silic played a mean guitar.
Ooh.
Oh, you bet.
Actually, especially because
Like
they could
mean
be...
as in it had an unpleasant disposition, or...
No, like, because he could be all stretchy, remember? So he could, like,
I know.
play chords it is physically impossible for a human to play.
That's true. Oh my god.
Oh, like in Gattaca with the pianist with 6 fingers.
Right, I forgot about that. Look at all these things we're tying in. This is delightful.
Yay.
Bill and Ted is at the crux of all science fiction, it turns out. There's some sort of, like, nexus point.
I know, and there was such a great chance of this thing failing because, like, it's such a ridiculous idea that once that first, I know I didn't write down which production company like was the one that tanked before first released, but as they're shopping it around, it's like, why would you greenlight this? It's the dumbest idea I've ever heard, and yet it's just fun and sweet, and
it's funny.
gimmicky, and
it's kind of funny that, like, they had trouble finding people, because it's, again, like, you feel like Back to the Future was huge, and, like, if nothing else, because, again, I have absolutely zero faith in studio heads, you think if nothing else they would look at this and go, like, so it's kind of like Back to the Future? Perfect! We don't have original ideas, and, again, aside from the time travel plot and, like, the music thing, it's not... Like, again, obviously there's some little comparisons, there might be a wink, but it's distinctly its own time travel picture. But you think you'd be able to distill it to the fucking puzzle wits that run studios, just tell them, like, look, it's like Back to the Future, but there's 2 of them, and they go, wonderful, I'm going to do more cocaine now.
One thing that's always bothered me about the time travel of it is when Ted's like, remember to put a bucket, and then suddenly the bucket falls.
Yeah, well, it's silly.
It's
just silly.
It was on a string on a timer.
These are not boys who know how to create contraptions. Maybe Missy did it for them.
Missy or Rufus, Joan of
The
Arc.
princesses, they seem bright.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc. Yeah, I guess they dropped everyone off at the end. And it's also like, I'm glad they also don't bother, like, making any winks about how any of these characters are going to die.
Yeah, because
any of these historic figures are going to die.
I was about to say, I think, is there anyone in their little cadre who just, like...
Yeah, Freud.
Yeah, Freud's okay.
Freud would have died of just, like, old age and actually, I think, again, maybe Genghis Khan just died of old age, or what would have counted for old age in the middle...
Yeah, I'm not sure about him.
Yeah, but yeah, I was thinking that, though. It's like, oh my god, most of these people meet horrible ends. Because Socrates was executed by the state, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course, Billy the Kid, outlaw. We know how that went. Joan of Arc, Jesus Christ.
Joan of Arc, executed by the state.
Abe Lincoln, either shot or beat to death in the ass with a hammer, depending upon which Whitest Kids You Know sketch you're watching.
Napoleon didn't have a good time.
No.
Well, but did he just die in battle? Like, at least he maybe got it quick.
I know he was exiled for a while. Did he come back from exile and get killed, or did he just die in exile?
Battle, dude. This just shows you how much I fucking know.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what I do know. Ice cream always looks fucking great in movies from the 80s and 90s. Like, better than ice cream has ever looked in real life.
I'm sure it's because it's not actually... It might... do we think it's actually ice cream, or because I know, like, because they have to worry about it melting?
No, I'm sure it's not actually ice cream.
Do they use, like, frosting?
Yeah, it's probably frosting or fucking... I'm sure in some cases it's, like, fucking painted styrofoam.
Yeah, well, I've heard that, like, anytime actors in a movie need to eat ice cream, usually what they do is they take frosting and mix it with copious amounts of confectioner sugar. Yeah, because that creates that sort of texture of what ice cream should look like.
Yeah, because it's got to last for all the takes you need for it to do.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I heard this from you, Jake, because as soon as you started saying that, I was like, oh yeah, I feel like I've heard this, and I think it must have been from you.
That's possible.
Well, because we did a lot of theater together where you helped to craft a lot of food.
Well, but also, ice cream has been on Star Trek enough that it may have come up before on an episode.
No, it's definitely come up before on an episode. I don't remember which one. Speaking of the ice cream scene, the 2 waiters at the Ziggy Piggy are the 2 writers.
Okay.
Oh, really? That's delightful.
which is quite sweet.
I do think it's bullshit, though. There's no way that Napoleon should have got that badge. You're only supposed to get those challenge things if you do it yourself.
Yeah, none of the kids got the badge.
And I'm sure they helped. I
Yeah,
mean,
they definitely helped. We saw them helping.
That's true. They started out helping. Yeah.
Apropos of nothing.
Just calling bullshit on that.
Fair. Apropos of nothing, though, I never realized before this watching that, like, the girls are twins.
What?
When they were showing the kids, and there's the two girls with the kids, I was like, did they just flip the frame? It's the same girl twice.
But then there's a few shots, you see both of them. It's like, oh, it's just random fucking twins. Okay.
Or there was just a kid face that you cast in movies.
I don't know, because they had like the same exact color hair even. Like,
they looked very similar.
I should have checked the credits to see, like, do they have the same surname? Or also, again, didn't occur to me before this one, but the brother, the brother's name?
Deacon.
His name is Deacon Logan, which is a terrible name.
That dad seems like a bit of a tool.
Yeah, I mean,
sucks.
I am sure, like, because, it's interesting, because, like, Bill has a stepmom, and I am sure that it is not that Ted's mother has passed, that she has left that asshole.
Yeah, I think probably Ted's mother left Ted's dad for Bill's mother, which is why we don't see either of them for real.
I'll take that headcanon.
God, that's awful but wonderful all at once. Okay.
Yeah, I know this is built
I will be
up.
Watching for proof of this in the next.
Yeah, I know this is built upon in the next movie, so look forward to that.
I forgot about that. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too. I remember so little of the next one.
Really? Oh, it's. I remember it being pretty fun.
Did we? I mean, listen. If I did, it was with you. So, like, do you remember showing it to me? Because I know you showed me Excellent Adventure.
I genuinely don't remember. I own the DVDs. I just watched my DVD. I was happy to see that it does in fact still work. Because
yay.
Well, it's DVDs in theory should be fine if they're kept well, but it came out recently that a bunch that Warner Brothers made in like 2008 and 9 had some sort of massive chemical flaw.
Oh shit!
No.
So like, even if you kept them well, and I try to keep, I keep stuff in my boxes. I don't leave them in bad places. There is a non-zero chance if you have any Warner, not that this is a Warner Brothers, but still any Warner Brothers disc from 2008 or 9, there is a decent chance that next time you try to use it, it's fucked.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So now I'm like a little worried about everybody,
I know, because I know a lot of people are trying to invest more in physical media because streaming services just drop things randomly.
Yep.
Now, Jake, when I was asking you if what your first impressions of the movie when you had first seen it were, you said you don't even remember if you had seen it before.
Yeah, honestly, it's. I'm sure I have seen it, but I was probably very little. I probably, I had zero. After having watched this yesterday, I'm like, man,
it was like watching a fresh new movie.
Yeah, it was like I'd never seen it before.
That's crazy.
So it's almost like going in blind.
What was that like?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. So it's not a question of does it hold up, because it clearly does. And it's not a question of like, oh, is it just like rose tinted nostalgia glasses? And no, because I don't have those either. So it was just a very thoroughly enjoyable film.
Yeah. It is funny, like, I was thinking, stuff that aged not great, like, not in a way, but just in a way. Is it all the various, there's a couple of gags specific to, like, payphones and phone books, and it's like, God, I technically remember those things, and I'm still a little like, oh, I think I get that.
Yeah, I know one of them, I don't remember which one, because all of this is so hazy. The reach out and touch someone joke that they say. Let's reach out and touch someone. If you don't know that that's from like an old payphone joke, I don't even know the joke.
Is it a payphone joke, or is it like a Yellow Pages joke?
It was like the Yellow Pages like slogan for a while, I think.
Okay. I just remember reading that reference when I was skimming the IMDb trivia and they said this is a reference to X, and I was like, oh, okay, gotta look. I'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, there's that reference, because I would, if they had just said that without me expecting the reference, I wouldn't have known what they were talking about.
Yeah, and there's even like a reference to an even older slogan, which was like, "Let your fingers do the walking."
Do the walking. Yep.
And that's like printed on the phone book, and it's like, wow, these are things.
I say that reach out and touch someone was like an AT&T
maybe
advertising slogan.
Right. Maybe that's what it was. Fingers do the walking was the Yellow Pages, and
Fingers do the walking was definitely the
but reach out and touch someone was AT&T sounds right.
So the original ending would have been them just doing their presentations in front of their normal classroom, and all the historic figures are just waiting along the wall to deliver their lines.
Oh, that.
And I guess like literally in the middle of filming it, everyone's like, "This is terrible."
Yeah, no, that's
this is the most anticlimactic ending for this movie. We figure out what this is going to be, and they did the whole big like auditorium finale extravaganza with lighting and special effects and stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny because I remember going into this. It's been a while, and I was like, it does seem crazy. Like, why are they having this giant presentation? But I will say on the rewatch, it's not as big an auditorium as I had remembered. And it does seem like because there's 3 teachers there, maybe it's like all the history classes, not just Bill and Ted. It's like, all right, that makes it make a little more. It's still weird that you'd have this like all-day multi-class presentation thing, but it's not as bizarre as how I remembered it, which is just like the whole school is there to watch this one class's presentations. Like, they make it make a strange sense, but sense.
Enough sense.
Well,
like I said, assembly.
Yeah.
It's also like the end of the year, probably, right? Because they're like, if you don't get an A in this,
It's
you're
their
gonna
final.
fail.
Yeah, it's their final project.
So it's finals period, which means that like some of these kids, like the classes have already ended probably and shit. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably a way to make sure that they still have to come to school, but they're not just wandering aimlessly.
Like, that is the thing too. Is I was thinking that it's like they're having this big presentation, but like meanwhile, there's tons of people at the water park, and Deacon is off playing baseball. So like, yeah, like you said, not everyone's even in school today.
Yeah. Was it even a school day? Was it the weekend? I
Oh,
don't know if it's ever really established.
I don't think they say.
There's no way it was the weekend. It couldn't be.
Yeah, they wouldn't make high school students come in on the weekend day
Well,
for
they
this
might fucking
assembly.
try, but I don't think the high school students would come, Like, it's more, to me, it's more like...
Meanwhile, everyone's having a great time watching these history presentations.
Yeah.
Well, at least theirs, Like,
Yeah, that's, like, if nothing else, like, oh, God, most of the day was a drag. At least it ended on a high note. But also you gotta figure, like, their teacher must have been like, on the one hand, that was super impressive. On the other, where was this energy the rest of the year, boys?
Right?
It's like, oh, wouldn't you like to know, Mr. Teacher, whose name I've forgotten?
I should have kept track of how many times Bill and Ted, like, answer things in unison. Because it becomes bizarre, but I still love them. Because they're not really different characters. They are just the same character twice, and they just have different dads and
Like,
different backstories.
For lack of... again, do not ask me why I feel this, but it feels like if there's a quote-unquote, like, leader, it's probably Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's kind of, if they had to pick someone in charge, it's him. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's mostly the one that does the most of the dialing, and...
Well, also his name comes first in Bill
True.
and Ted.
No, there you
that
go.
might have something to do with it. I also like, it never occurred to me before this viewing, but like, the way Ted introduces himself is backwards. Like, they do
Yeah, it should
Ted
be Theodore Ted.
Logan, whereas normally the nickname is like, you'd be Theodore Ted Logan,
Oh, that is funny.
which again might play into
That's
the
because
whole...
his first name is Theodore and his middle name, or his first name is Ted and his middle name is Theodore.
That would be
There
funny.
you go.
I don't know. It's in quotes in the cast list that
Yeah.
I copied over to my notes. So
Theodore's in quotes.
Theodore is in quotes.
Maybe
Nice.
he's just a big fan of the Chipmunks.
See, I also find it absolutely absurd because, when I was a kid, I didn't understand what this meant. But, now looking back, it's like when Bill S. Preston Esquire.
Yeah.
Because he just appends Esquire, probably because he just likes how it sounds.
Yeah.
It sounds very sophisticated.
Yeah. Although he
Come
does
on,
then
who among
wind
us
up...
didn't write Esquire at the end of our name once or twice? In
I
our-
didn't. I don't
our-
think I
our
understood what
youth?
it meant until
Yeah.
No,
this
and neither
movie.
does he. I mean, do you understand what it means now? Because most people don't know what it means now either.
Vaguely, it's a legal thing.
It means that you earned your law degree by apprenticing instead of like law school. That's what it means.
Really?
Oh, that's what it means. Okay.
I thought it just meant you had a law degree, so
It's like you're a journeyman lawyer.
Wow, I learned something today. I also
At least
kind
I
of...
think that's right. I mean, don't quote now. All of our fans are
That makes sense because it's got Squire in it.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I do find... I wonder if there had been an intent that they just never followed through on there being some sort of Squire joke in the Middle Ages that they just never kind of got around to.
Aren't you smart?
No,
That's probably
that's
exactly
possible.
right.
Like, it was something that was in an earlier draft that got dropped, but they kept him calling himself Esquire because they thought it was funny. And that's definitely,
And
like,
right.
I will say, I'm, considering when I would have seen this film, the very first time I probably heard that word was this fucking movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, yeah, ditto. And it was just something that I know that means something that probably isn't what he thinks it means, but it's funny because he thinks it sounds cool.
Exactly. Like, I think it was a similar thing. Like, it's like, I'm sure he ain't using that right, but I don't know what it is either, so fuck it.
I also thought, what did Rufus call the history, the threads of history that they follow using the
Cables of history?
cables
Wires?
of history?
It was definitely
I thought
like
it
a...
looked like I thought it
was
looked like
circuits?
Circuits,
I don't know.
yes.
circuits of history that I thought just looked like the mycelial network.
Well, it makes sense too, though, right? Because isn't it phone circuits?
I think, yeah. That was actually something I kind of wondered if, you know, Doctor Who kind of borrowed from later. Because in the older show, you never really saw it generally traveling through. Like, it would fade out and fade in. And they didn't tend to show the middle bit. And then when it came back, they often do depict it as kind of tumbling through, like, a tunnel,
like Alice in Wonderland kind of a thing.
I mean, honestly, a little more like these circuits. Like, I kind of wonder if they kind of were like, just gonna take this.
Yeah. Is the impression that they were trying to make in those kind of like initial scenes in the future where you see the big CGI'd tear droplet shape out of bronze that they kind of form the time travel phone booth out of, that thing is able to take on a like any shape, and they picked the phone booth because it would have made sense in Bill and Ted's environment?
That's my assumption.
Okay.
But I also, my assumption might be influenced by Doctor Who. Because the idea is that the TARDIS is supposed to do that. Like, it's supposed to change to fit any time and place it's in.
It just doesn't bother doing that.
Yeah, the Doctor's
circuit. You see a phone booth in medieval England, and the princesses are like, that's normal. Yeah,
like, the explanation is that the circuit that's supposed to do that in the Doctor's is broken.
Oh, okay.
The chameleon circuit.
And the reason for that, well, again, limitations, was like the idea originally was that it would change in every like time jump. But then they were like, we do not have the money for that. So they were like, you know what? The thing that should do that is broken. So it's always a 1960s phone box.
Yeah, and that way it becomes a clever like in-joke.
Yeah, and it also becomes
even better.
Iconic too, you know? Like, it's a symbol of the show. Which, you know, not that they knew at the time they would have regeneration, but like, considering how much of the show is about change, it's good to have a singular item that doesn't.
Here's a list of actors they were considering when they couldn't get Eddie Van Halen for Rufus. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Nope.
No.
Ringo Starr.
Sure.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Might have worked. Roger Daltrey.
Yep.
You're telling me they could afford Roger Daltrey, but they couldn't? Well, I guess.
No, they probably couldn't afford him.
Sean Connery.
Okay.
No, there's more to this. Sean Connery.
Nope.
and Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
Is the list I have.
Yeah,
but I
see
think
that.
they determined as they were considering like these folk, like, you know, it really probably should be a comedian. Because that'll have kind of that'll set the right tone.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's always, you know, he was sort of a semi-counterculture figure too.
Yeah, George Carlin's got that dry wit that I think Rufus like really like built on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be honest, I like George Carlin, but I wasn't really that impressed by much of his performance.
No, I liked him. It's funny.
Didn't George Carlin replace Ringo Starr on Shining Time Station?
Just about to say that, yeah.
What's Shining Time Station?
Well, he's been riding Ringo's coattails for years, it turns out.
The Tank Engine?
The Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, Ringo
show.
was the voice of like the narrator or whatever for that for like a long time.
Oh wow!
Well, for
and then George Carlin was.
Yeah, I looked it up recently. He was like the narrator for the first 2 or 3 years, and then George Carlin took over for a while.
Huh.
In the American version, I guess in Britain they had like someone else. But yeah, they were Mr. Conductor. They would appear in like little live action interstitials, and then they narrated the stories. And I was recently looking into it because I was trying to figure out who decided, hey, let's get this famous, like, adult comic to be our narrator for our children's train show. And I could not find out whose idea it was.
My idea.
Well, good thinking, Ames.
But yeah, so with a lot of those, like, Charlie Sheen, that makes sense. Like, you know, it's the 80s Brat Pack era. Like, the problem there is, like, he'd have been their equivalent as opposed to, like, a wise old man. So that wouldn't have worked as
No,
well.
he's older than them, though.
Yeah, but not by
Surely.
enough, you know?
Yeah, not by enough. Like, it would be a different dynamic.
That's true.
And this would have been...
George
Well, on the
Carlin,
other
like-
hand, though, they could have just paid him in coke.
Yeah, because it's much more like, you feel like it's an Obi-Wan to Luke kind of relationship that they have. You know, the wise mentor who knows everything and sends you on your quest.
Yeah, like, you definitely want an older actor.
Who looks great in a pair of shades.
Yeah. Connery would have been weird.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
I kind of want to see how it would work.
Yeah, it's... They also wanted him for Gandalf, and thank God he said no.
Oh, that would have been fucking terrible.
Yeah, that would have been awful.
Yeah, no.
That's the wrong vibe.
Yeah. Again, I can see how Roger Daltrey would have worked, but I'm sure, again, like, him and Ringo, I'm sure they could not afford.
Yeah, and also,
Ringo
like, Roger
especially,
Daltrey
holy
isn't
shit.
a great actor. He's fine, but...
What's he been?
Are we
I'm not
talking
even
about
sure.
the guy from The Who?
I mean, the only thing I can think of him having been in is Tommy, which is the movie of Tommy. Which
Okay,
is,
so we are talking about the guy from The Who.
Yes.
Yeah,
Actually, he might...
but
Liz, are you listening? He might be in some episodes of the Highlander TV series, which had, like, a lot of musicians show up as actors. I think he shows up in
I feel like I saw
Highlander.
him in something recently, actually. I'm going to look at his IMDb because I could have sworn I saw him in something recently. I was like, oh, look, there's Roger Daltrey.
I know I saw, like, he was doing interviews. This is maybe 10-ish years ago now, so I can't speak to now, but it was so weird because, like, he apparently has kept in shape because he is, like, old man jacked.
Ooh.
Like, his arms
Oh,
are
I know what it
huge.
was.
Who's
He
old man
was
Jack?
he had a 2-episode arc on Sliders.
Did he?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
Sorry, who is this?
Roger
Roger
Daltrey.
Daltrey.
Oh.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I think Carlin worked out. I feel like you said, he had the right tone. It worked in a pretty good way.
Yeah, he's got that deadpan
Mm-hmm.
snark.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing where if it were being filmed today, it would just be Tig Notaro.
Yeah. I do like, too, that at the end, they were very realistic in that, like, they still actually suck. And, of course, the princesses have no experience with music.
Yeah, especially
Right.
these instruments.
Yeah. Like, maybe one
Like
of
they
them would
might
have
know
known
like
the lute.
the harp or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
They do get better.
That's
well,
such a good
what
headline.
is the guitar if not just a harp?
That's true.
But they don't have it. They're on the drums and keyboard.
Well, a keyboard is very much like a harpsichord or whatever.
Yes, but not a
If
harp.
one of them had a piano, it's the same thing. That's actually the thing. Having them on drums and pianos probably would be the easiest thing because those are things that definitely existed, whereas the electric guitar wasn't a thing yet.
Mm.
I don't know. I think they're first going to rack up a ton of credit card debt.
It's
'Cause
okay,
that
though,
is
'cause
definitely something they don't have at the time.
those credit cards are in the name of a man from the 27th century. Good luck finding him, the credit bureau.
Right?
I was kind of hoping it was Ted's dad. There's no proof to that. It's just that he's a douchebag. So.
Yes, but then it could potentially fuck over Ted, which the whole point of this movie was avoiding that.
Well, I mean, I don't think so because they'll have receipts, and he was doing his performance or his show at that time.
No, but I mean, if
there,
like
so.
Ted's father suddenly has all this credit card debt, it could affect Ted's life negatively.
Oh, I see.
It's not obviously, but it would be kind of hilarious if the sequel was actually about dealing with the credit card debt they'd racked up.
Oh no. No, but instead the sequel is going to be an entirely different ordeal.
Very different.
Really?
And
Oh,
yet
yes.
the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it couldn't be just like a rehash because that wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, I've never seen it, so I'm fairly certain I have not seen it. So
Well, maybe
Now,
we
have you-
should
have
maybe
you
we
seen
should
it, Jake?
extend this. If I have it, I don't remember it. I think I think
cool.
our answer should be let's extend this little foray into Keanu Reeves and continue it next time.
Oh, there's an idea. So next week, Point
Good
Break.
thinking, Jake.
Yes, there you go.
Point Break?
Dracula?
It's another Keanu Reeves movie.
I don't remember it.
are we watching Dracula?
No.
No.
Oh.
We're just doing his science
watching-
fiction stuff.
Yeah.
What? That's science fiction.
It's
No.
fantasy.
No, in a pig's ass.
So, Jake, what are we doing next week?
Am I jaking us out?
Oh, no,
No,
wait, yeah, you were
Kayla's
just
shaking us
segueing.
out.
Sorry.
I was just segueing.
Yeah, Caitlin,
I have
Caitlin
no
us
idea.
out. Jake us out works better, though.
Well, thank you for joining us for our foray into the Bill and Tediverse, the the first movie in the Keanussance. Next week we'll be watching Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. In the meantime, if you you thought, well, I had one episode, but I'd like some more, please. Please, sir, can I have some more? We're all over the internet. Facebook, Tumblr, SoundCloud. Anywhere you find podcasts, you'll find our podcast. Just search for A Star to Steer Her By. And I have been Caitlin.
And I have been Jake.
This has been Chris.
And this is always Ames. Party on, dudes.
Be excellent to each other.
And Caitlin. Oh, you asshole dog.
It's several fucking dogs!
Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
That's staying in.
Hey!